It all starts when a baby's laugh floats across the sea to Pixie Hollow to become a fairy. The other fairies hear the laugh and fly to the arrival area to greet the newcomer. Although there are 14 different fairy languages, luckily the fairies in Pixie Hollow all speak the same one. Now for a few basics. We fairies are about 5 inches tall, and we only weigh as much as a piece of dandelion fluff. Fairies can be male or female. Male fairies are called sparrowmen. A fairy needs 2 things to fly: dry wings and pixie dust. If our wings are wet, or if we run out of pixie dust, we can only walk, hop, or hitch a ride on one of our animal friends, if there's one around. We fairies are very resourceful when it comes to making clothes. We can make almost anything out of flower petals, leaves, caterpillar wool, silkworm threads, dandelion fluff, and even spider webs. Every fairy's closet is filled with different creations. Fairies use natural elements for accessories too. Seeds for buttons, silver shavings for jewelry, and grass blades for belts. And even though we spend a lot of time in the air, we still make lightweight shoes. Fairies play all kinds of games in nature. Some games we play just with each other, like fairy tag and seashell tiddlywinks. Others we play with our animal friends, like pillbug marbles and butterfly races. We have a lot of fun. For very special occasions, we throw a party complete with fireworks. Clank and Bobble are well known for their amazing fireworks displays. After a hard day's work, fairies enjoy a good soak in a bathtub that's usually made from coconut shells. We only wash our wings occasionally because we can't fly when they're wet. A wing-washing fairy performs this delicate job using a soft cloth made from the down of a milk thistle.
You know what? I think we're gonna be friends.
Summer is our busiest time on the mainland, so we spend the whole season there. We paint ladybugs, butterflies, and flowers, and help melons and berries ripen right on the vine. Humans love their sweet taste. Of course, we save a little for ourselves and our animal friends, too. Summer is bee painting season for the animal fairies, and each bee is carefully painted to perfection. When the paint is dry, an animal fairy gives the bee a signal, and away it flies to show off its new outfit. When autumn arrives, garden fairies hand paint each leaf the perfect shade of amber. Later in the season, the fast-flying fairies create winds that knock all the golden-colored leaves to the ground. When it's time for winter, the winter fairies deliver the cold weather to the mainland. Frost fairies, snowflake fairies, and ice-carving fairies turn meadows and fields into winter wonderlands. In the spring, animal fairies go from tree to tree to wake the squirrels and from cave to cave to wake the bears. Before garden fairies can get busy with the spring planting, light fairies have to melt the snow and warm up the frozen ground with their sunbeams. On cloudy days, light fairies use sunlight that they've stored away. Spring is a busy time for garden fairies. Seeds, flower bulbs, and sproutlings need planting. Sunflowers need help opening their blooms, and blossoms need painting. There's so much to do that garden fairies use insect friends to help them with their daily tasks. After all the spring planting, everything needs a good watering. And who do you think handles that? Water fairies, of course.
At the waterfront village with my friend the zombie, Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I like turtles.
All right, you're great zombie. And good times here at the water.
Fireflies are definitely in the friends column. In fact, Blaze here is one of my best friends. Each night, the light fairies use the last rays of sunshine to set the fireflies' tails aglow. You'd be surprised how many times I've used Blaze as a flashlight. Now, trolls are not necessarily friendly to fairies, but these two, Leech and Grimsley, are pretty harmless. They guard the troll bridge on the island north of Neverland, and they always argue over who gets to give the ominous warning. Butterflies and fairies are great friends. In fact, butterflies are the animal fairies' favorite insects to paint. Animal fairies get very creative with elaborate and beautiful wing patterns. When on the mainland, fairies have to watch out for cats, a natural enemy. They see us as things to play with, so you can imagine why we don't want to get caught. Hawks. Now, these guys are the biggest danger to fairies. They can fly amazingly fast, so outflying one can be a challenge, believe me. If a scout fairy sounds an alarm, it could mean a hawk has spotted one of us. Fairies have a special relationship with birds, maybe because we all have wings and fly. They even fly with us across the sea to the mainland and help carry all we need for the change of the season. Owls are definitely friendly, and there's one owl that a lot of fairies visit when they have a particular problem, Dr. Owl. He doesn't say much, but he sure does listen well. Because animal fairies have a lot of animals to train, water fairies help train pollywogs and other small fish and sea creatures. The water fairies teach them how to blow bubbles and to climb on and off of lily pads.
Jesus Christ.
Fairies work in secret, but if you smell the slightest hint of cinnamon, it's possible that one is nearby, because that's what fairies smell like. If the fairy is wearing any jewelry, you might even see a tiny reflection from the sun. And if you really want to see a fairy, you might try waving something shiny, because we're all attracted to things like mirrors, silverware, and precious metals. But don't tell Queen Clarion that I told you. You'll need to be patient to earn a fairy's trust, but once you do, she might allow you to hold her in your hand. You probably won't feel any weight because fairies are literally as light as a feather. If you meet a garden fairy, here's a great way to make friends. Pick a few colorful flower petals and offer them to her. She'll probably get busy right away making a dress, and she might even thank you by offering a gift in return. Speaking of gifts, if a fairy tells you that it's her arrival day, you might want to offer a gift. Fairy arrival days are the same as human birthdays. Gifts could include muffins or breads, flowers, or a shiny pebble. A fairy will likely be very hungry. You should know that fairies don't eat meat, so we eat fruits, vegetables, seeds, honey, nuts, and breads. Poppy Puff rolls are one of our very favorites, if you happen to have any sitting around the house. If a fairy stays overnight at your house, it's proper etiquette to offer her a bed. A soft washcloth will make a nice blanket, and a simple cotton ball will make a fluffy pillow. Since fairies work so hard, a restful night's sleep is essential. Before bed, a fairy will want to clean her teeth and comb her hair. In nature, we use peppermint leaves to chew on and pine needles for combs. Maybe your garden has some mint you could snip. A fairy could probably make a hairbrush out of toothpicks.
Hey, I want to be famous.
Winter fairies live in winter woods, and their job is to deliver winter to the mainland. There are winter fairies of every talent, but some specialize in making frost, snowflakes, and icicles. Winter fairies never visit other parts of Pixie Hollow because their wings can get damaged from the warm temperatures.